What up, you guys? Slim here in Team Purple Panda, here to do another card discussion. I've been getting a lot of requests, so I'm taking them one by one. This is another one for Team Weirdo. Shout out to them. We're gonna talk about a card, a synchro monster in particular, that has basically kind of is just like losing fire. It hasn't been seen a lot since the release of Trishula. But I feel that it definitely needs to be recognized as a really good card, and really shouldn't be taken out of extra decks unless like you honestly don't have room for it. We're gonna talk about Wurm, you guys. So the base is on Wurm, level 9 synchro, 2500 attack. When it's summoned, bounce up to 3 cards your opponent controls back to their hand. This card used to be so good when it first came out because you make it so easily and you just bounce your opponent's cards and you basically attack for game with it, and along with other monsters. It was great in Infernities. It was great in a lot of other decks. You know, 2 gadgets plus a Veiler, 2 gadgets, a Glow Bulb, whatever it was, you could do it and make Wurm easily. And bouncing your opponent's card is basically how you would go for game. You'd be clearing their field, baiting out Warning, baiting out whatever else they had. And Wurm's just always been good, I think. And, you know, it was good in a couple formats ago, like when it came out along with Bryanak and Catastor. They were like the 3 most sought after synchros because they really were the best. You know, Wurm being like one of the first level 9s that people actually played, you know, would come out, would bounce your opponent's cards and literally like throw them off, because then they got the cards back to their hand. And if you could attack for game, that was the time, because you wouldn't want them resetting up the next turn. You know, just a really good card, and you know, it was good for a while, and then of course, Trishula came out, and Trishula basically replaced it in most people's extra decks as the 1 level 9 that you would run. Because I mean, Trishula clearly is better. I don't have to tell you guys why it's better. I mean, there's no other card that can hit 3 cards the way Trishula does. Bouncing it from the hand, field, and graveyard, removing them, you know, that's key. It doesn't destroy. But I mean, Wurm's also good because it doesn't destroy either. You know, you can't Magatama it. You can't use effects that because you think it's destroying. It's sending cards back to your hand. It's like a giant compulsive evacuation device, which is really cool. You know, I personally like the card. I think the card's really good. It just depends on your playstyle. I definitely don't think it should have been taken out of people's extra decks, because it works really well like in certain situations where you're facing a lot of defense position monsters. And I know a lot of people don't run Red Dragon Archfiend, so you need to be able to get around those monsters in order to get to your opponent's life points. So Wurm is key in that sense. Like I said, both Trishula and Wurm are good. Trishula is better, but it doesn't mean that Wurm shouldn't be used. I know a lot of decks that can make 9 really easily, so maybe take out something that's a little less handy in your extra deck and replace it with Wurm, because Wurm's won me so many games, and it's won so many other people a lot of games, I know, and it just works really well. I mean, being able to control your opponent's field and bounce it back to their hand so that they're left with the same cards is really good. And also, you know, it baits out Warning and stuff really easily. So I personally like Wurm. I don't think there's any reason not to try Wurm. Like I said, Trishula is the better choice, but why not try both? They both work really well. So that's all I really got to say, you guys. Shout out to Team Weirdos for the idea. There's nothing wrong with Wurm. I wish people wouldn't completely neglect it. But yeah, try it out. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's still a really good card, not a bad option in most people's extra decks. Just leave me your feedback below, what you guys think about Wurm. Does it work? Does it not work? Do you prefer it over Trishula or vice versa? And, you know, just let me know what you guys think. So that's all I got to say. Please continue to rate, comment, subscribe, thumb things up, and thank you for watching.